and the Christ beings the Africans produced in the pyramid schools of Egypt, completed charging those countless millions of grids, which they took some 11,000 years placing around our planet's astral plane. Okay, my beloveds, you've heard the commentator and the Caucasians' take on civilization in Western science is completely wrong regarding human origins. It looks like nature swings around to our side because between the Zionists and those other folk, Western civilization does not have the first clue that all of the junk in its bullshit textbooks in their academic institutions is just as wrong as the Hebrew Bible. It is wrong as hell. We kept these devil Zionists from having any correct knowledge, and they, doing the reading and writing for the European who could not read and write, got everything wrong and ass backwards.
Beneath the thick canopy of the Guatemalan jungle lies a place of tantalizing mystery. When scientists first flew over these peaks 60 years ago, they thought they were the tops of volcanoes. They turned out to be the pyramids of an ancient lost city. They called the city Nakbe.
I could see Nakbe on the horizon, and I knew that it needed to be investigated because of the implications that it had for the development of civilization. Processes that led a simple hunting and gathering group to a great and magnificent ancient civilization. And I felt like it was necessary to get to Nakbe and understand that.
This is a place that might solve the greatest mystery of our past. How did humans rise from barbarity to civilization? It's the question that drives archaeologists to explore sites like this one.
Fabulous site. It's a wonderful opportunity to view the human process in action with an ancient window.
Most archaeologists believe civilization did not come from Atlantis, but if they dig deep enough in places like Nakbe, perhaps they'll solve the mystery. Archaeologists have been discovering lost cities like Nakbe since the first Europeans went in search of colonies abroad. All over the world, in places that were totally unconnected, they stumbled upon the spectacular remains of ancient societies.
See, this is how white people think. They say they unconnected, but they're all on the same planet. So how could that make sense? They're connected by the damn planet. See, this is their science. This is why everybody is so damn stupid. See, they want everything to be synonymous with the way they view things, as if we need to have some sort of link that we can fabricate and write in a book, or there's no link. No. What it is that they don't want the melanated people of this earth to know that we're all one unique family that has always lived around the whole, that which encompasses all geographical areas of this planet. And they are the Johnny-come-ladies. And then when they can never fit in and show themselves as having that unique connection of placement all around the whole planet, but they want everybody to bow down to them as God and everything, then they know they got to cover all that up. So they don't want you to see Vietnam and Southeast Asia and China and the Americas and Africas all as one source of conglomeration of one planet, because that's what we are. See, think about a cat. Now, how you gonna have a cat and look at the parts of the fur, the cat hair up on the ear, as being different than the cat hair back here on the tip of the tail? How foolish would that be? That's the same thing that he's trying to do when he tell you he can't see a connection with the people that live in Asia having the same connection with the people in the Americas. Well, why not? Because you're coming from European science. That's the only reason why. If you come from a universal science, you will see everything being everything. And so there would be no need to find some type of fabricated conditional connection that'll be suited for your motherfucking desire to rule the whole world, because it'll be a universally appointed principle of connection that'll be obvious for everyone to see if someone didn't hide it.
The locals often knew nothing about the people who built these monuments.
That's bullshit. That's like coming here to Vancouver, Washington and going and pointing to a downtown building and me telling you as a local, I can't give you any information about it. See, the locals never got asked by us. That's the reason he can tell us that. But when he asked the locals started talking and telling him everything. Oh, not only do we have them here, we all around the planet, bruh. Hawaii, everywhere. And he like, hold that down, hold that down. No, see, because we're going to push the Jesus thing on them. And we can't have you guys being all that which encompasses the whole planet, and then we give us our little white albino Jesus story, and we don't encompass the whole planet. You guys to know we full of shit. So we gonna make y'all all be savages and stupid and not attached to each other and not synonymous with each other. And they didn't even know how to talk to each other. That's what they want you to believe. But the fact of the matter is that all us melanated people all around this earth, we're all one family of people, and we all knew that. And these white people came on the earth and dichotomized all that and made us believe that we have always been headhunters and fought and killed each other. And that's not true. Yeah, there was a history where we had to grow and learn not to do that. But we did it, and we became great city builders. And we got them all underwater everywhere, pyramids all over the damn planet, so they can just see things for what they are and quit trying to push themselves away from us because of their shame of their albinism and try to make us be the abnormal people, when all they got to do is get some melanin back in their ass and return to them God's selves as gods and goddesses of the melanated human species. This stupidity has to stop.
Archaeology was conducted largely by adventurers and rogues.
Lion-ass Jews and white man thieves.
Went out to some horrible place in the middle of nowhere and discovered some ancient kingdom or lost civilization. And after all, if you have people finding forgotten tombs in ancient Egypt, finding lost civilizations in the middle of the tropical rainforest of Mexico, certainly must have piqued people's curiosity at the time.
Listen, you know, when you hear about history and you talk about, and they tell you about the 49ers and everything all down in San Francisco and everything, hunting for gold and this and that, you know what they were doing? Yeah, they were hunting for gold, but they were also stealing artifacts of the people of the Indian tribes who lived all in Arizona and who lived all in California and everything when they came here. Because you know why? Those people were sunlight worshipers, and we always gathered gold because gold was synonymous with sunlight being on earth. And that's the reason why we found the fancy to it. Not to mention the fact that you can study your vibrations in your body by using gold. It's a whole history of drinking gold and everything that we used to do as using that metal as a way for health as well as for spiritual enhancement. And that's the reason why to this day gold is so expensive, because we didn't use it as a money collecting tool like the Europeans did. We saw it as an abundance metal that if you went out and harvested, you can negotiate trade with it. But you did not trade gold for paper money. You traded it to people who would give you food, livestock, and all kind of stuff like that. And they used it in places of temples, ceremonials, and stuff like that. Okay, so it was a way everyone was able to be employed to go and get a commodity from the overall general store. Now these pyramids you're looking at were the same thing. They were centers that were in the common placement for joy and for wealth of the whole society, not just the rich pharaohs, because the pharaohs were only well off because all the people were well off. You're talking about an elaborate whole social structure that was rid of poverty. There was no poverty. Poverty were the people who came and gathered around the gates, where they couldn't even open the gates without having military assistance at the gate. That's why the Bible was telling you it'd be greater for a person to get through the eye of a needle, to get a camel through the eye of a needle. The eye of a needle was the entrances to all those cities in Egypt that you had. There was the great big gate that they would open up when the caravan was coming in. But if the caravan was not coming in, they had a really, really small gate that they're opening for commercialized individuals of the private sector who had passes and clearances to get in and out of the city. Otherwise, we had an elaborate city that was always on the guard against the vagabond barbarians that we know today to be as Jews and Caucasian people. These people always came over the walls and had to keep us at constant bay all the time to prevent their advancements at theft and murder. And their favorite overtime sport was the theft of our women, who they found very desirable because of how beautiful they were and how well groomed, and their behaviors of being pure and not just opening their legs to everyone. And they were not prostitutes, and they were very educated. And those white men really favored them and valued them highly, because they knew to steal one of them would be to obtain knowledge of the gods. And so we constantly had to fight them off from the desire of wanting our women. And to this day, it's the same thing, constant all the time. So yes, the whole ideal of us being one melanated family all over this planet and all throughout the universe is what needs to return to the conceptualization of the masses of knowing thyself, to have a true cognitive archive complete with knowledge of self. You must know yourself to be a universal dweller with the capability of astral projection and the capability to become the Christed individual that these Europeans have claimed that only that Jesus Christ was able to attain. That is the worst, most phoniest, bullshit, damaging lie that has ever been told on earth. And until you guys learn to eradicate ego, and go in the search of your true self, you are never going to be able to stomach or be able to confess or stand in conviction of the things that in your foolish state of existence you are prone to do today, tomorrow, and over and over and over again, until you go on the quest of knowledge of self, and until you put down ego, until you don't care what your neighbors and your daughter and your cousin and your uncles think about you more than you care about what you allow yourself to know about self, or what you allow the sun to see you do. The S-U-N sun, not S-O-N sun.
The ancient world they discovered was full of impossible.
And the S-U-N sun is watching you through the moon at night also. So knows that the light of the sun is always there. You can never beat it, ever.
Coincidences. Of all the structures they could have built, ancient civilizations on both sides